When trying to go ultralight, most people cut weight from the wrong place. And this is one place where going to ultralight can actually wreck your entire trip. You can shave grams off your stove, off your sleep system, or even your toothbrush. But if something goes wrong miles from the trailhead, none of that matters. Over the last 30 years of backpacking, including through hiking the Colorado Trail, and getting deployed on multiple disasters across the nation, I've learned one thing the hard way. A first aid kit is not optional. It's one piece of gear that you hope you never have to use, but you can't afford to leave behind. A first aid kit is one of those pieces of gear that you don't even think about until you desperately need it. Blisters, cuts, rolled ankles, dehydration issues, altitude headaches, or even a stove burn can end a trip as fast as it begins. Even small problems can become big problems when you're miles away from help, low on daylight, or exposed to the elements. Carrying a compact first aid kit doesn't just help you. It protects your hiking partners or anyone out on the trail that you might have come across that has an issue, and can turn a dangerous situation into a manageable one. Ultralight doesn't mean unprepared. It means being smart with weight, not reckless with it. In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what I carry in my ultralight kit. What I take fast packing, backpacking, or even on long trail runs out into the mountains of Colorado. It's not super big. It doesn't have everything you would need in an emergency, but it has what I feel like is the basics to help me get through any major situation. This is what I use for just myself. Now, if I'm going out with larger groups, I might carry something a little bit more than this because there's not enough gear in here to really be able to help if there was a situation where multiple people were involved. So in some of those kind of situations, I might carry something a little bit bigger. But the thing is you're in a multiple group, so now you can split some of the weight. So whereas some of the folks could be carrying some of your cooking gear or some of the food or some of those kind of things, then you can carry this little heftier pack here that I have too for bigger amounts. Because this actually has what could handle and support about 4 people for 7 days out in the backcountry. So with all that being said, let's dive into what I actually have in this bag. All right, the first thing that I have is this cool little bag that I got from Light AF. I probably spent a little more money than I needed to on it, but I liked it. I thought it looked cool, and it would make it really easy for me to be able to find my first aid kit in my bag. So let's just open it up and see what all we have in here. Just gonna pull it all out, lay everything out, and we'll go through everything little by little. All right, so one of the first things here you can see that I have in here is a pair of scissors. They're really lightweight. You could probably find some smaller versions, but I've even tried once to take and utilize just a small knife, but I found that even these pair of scissors are actually lighter weight than, say, one of my little bitty pocket knives. Let's see what else we have in here. I've got some sting relief. I've got an antibiotic towelette. I've got some elastic bandage that I've just kind of wrapped upon itself. It looks like it's all messed up, but it actually does still come off if you just pull it off on there. But you can use this, if you're having to bandage yourself there. We've got an assortment of Band-Aids from super big to smaller to, let's see, I know there's some more in here. Oh, here they are. To smaller sizes, even to some adhesive bandages. You can utilize these sometimes if you've got a wound that you need to be able to pull tight to be able to do on the trail as well. I also have a splinter out thing that comes with. Let's see here. So then I've got a gauze pad, a couple of those so that if I needed to if something got kind of bad, and then a bigger one. If you're really trying to stop some bleeding, you can get with those. Let's see here. I've got a threaded floss thing to be able to help out if worst case we got into something really bad. I also carry, I started doing this when I was doing the Colorado Trail, just a little packet of anti-chafing cream. This really probably isn't utilized as much on, say, a small trip, but longer trips, multiple days, I definitely use this pretty frequently when out there. And I've even pulled it out before when I've had situations where I run across somebody that's had issues that didn't have any anti-chafing cream with them, and I've been able to share that. And then let's see here. So then I've got some medicines. I've got some simple things like some Tums, some Aleve or Advil. For me, as I'm getting older, I find that the aches and pains, having something like that to take maybe at the end of the day is always kind of beneficial to make me sleep a little better. I also throw a little assortment of other meds in here. So this is some Pepto and Benadryl to be able to help in some of those situations. Some Imodium AD. If you run into issues where maybe you got some diarrhea issues, some Mucinex, some other just kind of small things that I throw in there. Look, here's some more ointment, some antibiotic ointment. And then I also have some water purification tablets. This is for my backup. So I always typically carry some kind of water purification system, but this is for that worst case scenario. If all of a sudden my filter stops working, I've got some tablets here where I can be able to still purify some water to be able to drink it. And then I carry some things to care for my feet, or other things that I might have, so I've got some moleskin that I'll carry with me. I also have some patch kit stuff for if anything goes wrong with any of my gear. I keep some of that in there. A little bit of duct tape, just a little bitty small roll of duct tape that's rolled on itself there. So then I also carry some lip balm. Now this is a big roll here. You could actually, I have a smaller roll that you could carry if you really wanted to get super lightweight on stuff. But I like this one because then I can add extra things to it and tape some stuff on there. So like here I've got some dental floss. And then one of my favorite things of all time, which is Leukotape. I actually use Leukotape way more than I say even do my third skin or second skin and things that you could have here. This was just a lifesaver for me to be able to help with blister prevention and other things when I was on the Colorado Trail. And then the one last thing that wasn't in the kit that I do actually carry in my pack, just in a different place, is a roll of ace bandage. This is that worst case scenario. If I roll an ankle or do something like that, I want to be able to know that I can at least hopefully still try to hobble back out of the trail. Now we'll pack everything back up. Then I'll show you guys what it weighs. All right, you'll see that this little thing just barely weighs just over 3 ounces. And that's what I have in my entire ultralight first aid kit. It's small and lightweight and built for real world situations after decades of experience out on the trail. Remember, the goal isn't to carry everything, it's to carry the things that matter. If you want to keep dialing in your ultralight setup, check out this video here where I break down my actual ultralight cook set that I use on all my backpacking trips. It's simple, lightweight, and honestly, one of the things that I'll never leave out of my pack system. And leave me some comments below and let me know anything that you might put in your first aid kit that maybe I didn't have here and something that I could add into mine as well. Hopefully this was beneficial for you guys, and hopefully I see you guys out on the trail.